What is going on, guys? Welcome to JPal Music. Of course, if you can subscribe, that would be awesome. Helps me out a lot. And then also like the video if you do, and it'll go around the internet. Appreciate that. Today we're talking about Spotify. Spotify being a Ponzi scheme. Spotify being one of the biggest streaming platform in the world, and people are just okay getting ripped off. And I'm guilty of this too, right? Because I'm an artist, and obviously no one's seeing the light of day as far as when it comes to monetary value, not nearly obviously enough of what is worth. And then you have this platform that everyone else can have an ease of access to listen to all these artists. I mean, I use Spotify because I can access various artists, even like really old catalogs, etc. Things that are very difficult to find. Like there is a value in that, but then also there's the inner evil as well, or just the inner underlinings. I won't say evils, but I mean, people getting ripped off and making a bunch of money. So let me show you guys a couple videos here. In regarding to, if you're asking Jarrell, how is it really is Ponzi scheme? If you're just kind of outside looking in, you're not really an artist. You have Spotify, or you just want to know more, as far as okay, how is this actually a Ponzi scheme? So I'm gonna show you a couple vids here that'll break this down for you. And here's the first one, really quick.
I figured out why Spotify is so much worse now. Look at this chart. It's a list of Spotify executives and how much money they've earned this past year. The CEO earned $345 million. For an artist to earn that much, it would have taken 115 billion Spotify streams. 15 billion more than Drake's entire career in 1 year, which makes you think, is the streaming model sustainable? Only 30% of emerging artists earn 10K a year from streaming royalties, meaning a lot of your favorite indie or niche musicians make poverty wages. And for us, we're just paying more and more money for an algorithm that doesn't even help us discover music anymore. They want me to listen to an audiobook.
So just a little bit of details there as far as just kind of the amount of money that these CEOs and everything are making, as kind of we're just eating it essentially. And then there's another video too that's very interesting as far as for someone who is being getting charged by Spotify due to fraudulency. But in the same token, it's kind of what Spotify has been doing. Check out this video, which I find really interesting.
Who's this from Billboard this morning? Who's this from Billboard this morning? A North Carolina musician has been indicted by federal prosecutors over allegations that he used AI to help create hundreds of thousands of songs and then used the AI tracks to earn more than $10 million in what Spotify is calling fraudulent streaming royalties since 2017. Now, this story is really interesting and evolving. Apparently, they kicked some money back to the AI company, and now they're going after them on some RICO type stuff. I mean, the record companies and Spotify do not want anybody doing their own dirty tricks of making AI and putting it, well, allegedly. Go Google Johann Rur. Yeah, RHOR. 15 billion streams, more than Michael Jackson. The only thing is, Johann Rur doesn't exist. Apparently, AI made the songs, Spotify put the songs on their favorite playlist or biggest playlist and kept the royalties. Now record companies are going out and suing all these AI companies for the artists, kind of like they did with TikTok, pulling all their music off of TikTok, making a better deal, and then not telling the artists. It's kind of funny. Over $500 million has been cashed in stock options by the executive staff of Spotify, the glorified jukebox that's worth over $20 billion. Why don't you give artists $500 million in bonuses?
Right. So just kind of the interesting thing as far as when when someone figures out the game that Spotify has been playing and then utilizes that to their advantage. Hey, you can't make this money that we've made. So very interesting notion. It's a sticky situation, right? It's not as cut and dry, say, as my as my Bandcamp video that I made that some people were like, they're like, oh, he's getting paid for this. I can assure you, I'm not getting paid for this. one, I've used Bandcamp for my projects and whatnot, so I'm an artist just like anybody else who uses artists on Bandcamp, and I just think it's good to educate yourself on things and make the decision yourself. That's just my opinion, obviously. So it's yeah. So just people are funny in the comments. But Spotify to me, it's even more. It's even more in the weeds when it comes to just what is the right thing to do, right? Even if they did start to pay artists, for their share, what does that even look like? What does that even look like? It used to be so cut and dry with you just sell a product and people buy it when it comes to the physicality of CDs, tapes, etc. I understand why people do vinyls and stuff too. Um, whereas when it comes to someone streaming an album for Spotify, I hear that you have to stream the album 1,500 times for it to equal the amount of what the album has cost. So if it's a $10 album in that value, it has to be streamed X amount of times, or for it to be considered an album full listen. So it's kind of ridiculous in that particular regard, and that's the reason for that is because per stream, you're getting tenths, thousandth of a cent when it comes to each stream. So it's not, like, how is it right that CEOs are being paid that much money for those videos I've shown you, and then for artists to be paid so little? It's just that's why Bandcamp was a nice cut and dry. Like, I'm putting up a product, you can buy it, you can you can pay more if you'd like, and then the information as far as them taking the music or what have you, and then they can profit of it, putting it through ads, potentially sync licensing or whatever, and then they can kind of make their money in the background. So it's interesting. It's kind of like a fight. It's definitely one of those situations where, is this just a technology thing where just artists really can't profit and they have to figure something else out? Vince Staples and mad other artists, when it comes to sync licensing, that tends to be one of the big things of how an artist can actually profit. Even when it comes to concerts, usually my answer would be, well, concerts is where they make their money, but there seems to be more concerts that are even being canceled, and it's not because of COVID or whatever. It's more, some of it is due to just really bad deals, and just the label or whoever creating whatever excuse to not have someone go on tour to earn that money. So very interesting. But back to the Spotify notion. Let me know what you guys think. Is it one of those things where it's like, Jerome, we know about this, or just there's really nothing we can do? You know what I'm saying? So let me know in the comments your thoughts. Again, J-Pop Music. I'll catch you guys next video. Thanks a lot.